In this conversation with Craig Martin, director of the Purdue University Galleries here in beautiful Lafayette and West Lafayette, Indiana, we'll be learning a lot about their multiple academic galleries, why they matter, and the positive impact they're having.
We are currently in the Fountain Gallery, which is located in downtown Lafayette, which is our off-campus location. As a Purdue entity, we like to be able to serve the community as much as possible, and this is a unique enterprise for us in that this is the first time that a university organization has stepped off of the university footprint to provide a facility off campus. And it's been a wonderful experience for us, and it joins the Ringel Gallery that we have on campus that has been in place for 20-some years and serves the students, faculty, and staff there very adequately. Between the two galleries, we like to think that we have a nice reach into both campus and community and can provide for a wide range of audiences. We are not corporate sponsored, so we don't have to answer or appease someone on that scale, on a money scale. We can talk about a wide range of things, and we can make up what we want to talk about. We like to tie it to the curriculum, and that is, if anything, that is our responsibility to tie it as much as possible to students and faculty on campus, and as well as I say to the community, and try and make connections. What we find here with this gallery in downtown Lafayette is that we are not a sales gallery, and a good many people have been exposed to art. They go to galleries, but they're usually sales galleries. I have nothing against sales galleries. There's several right down the street that are lovely, beautiful spaces. But we serve a different purpose. This is a gallery that is, if you will, art for art's sake. It is meant to be just to see the art and appreciate it. Thematically, and what we can present on an exhibition course schedule is far wider, I think, than a museum that feels beholden to corporate sponsors or large private donors, and feels as though they have to address certain things that will bring in audiences and sell umbrellas and ashtrays, that kind of thing. We do like to be able to invite students to play a part as much as possible. We have a student staff that works here with us, to really just monitor the space more than anything. But in between, when we prepare takedown exhibits and prepare for new ones, we like to involve them, to give them experience, because many of them are fine arts majors, and to give them experience handling artwork, seeing how artwork is handled and prepared and packaged and dealt with, and for them to see how an exhibition is prepared and laid out, and the considerations from one object to the next, and how you decide how you place things and how far apart and how many, and how best they read in a room. We like to think it contributes valuable experience to them as much as to anyone to actually see artwork in person, as opposed to a reproduction. We've had classes come in, we've had English literature classes come in, and they have looked at them in books at about that scale. And when they come in, they're about this scale. They're very much larger, and they're much more detailed, and they get very excited. So it gives them a better sense of the value of tangibility of art and of objects. And we like to think that's the case in all curriculum. But certainly in fine arts, that would be the case. We also deal with art history, people who, again, have a chance to read about, talk about, see slides of objects, but until they're really in front of those objects, or they have a chance to interact with them and even handle them sometimes, because we have had exhibitions that were mounted, prepared, and curated by classes in art history. When they have a chance to do that, they get a much fuller appreciation for what those pieces are and what they meant, what value they have in that historical context, and all of those references. Whenever people poke their heads in, a lot of times they do that with strollers and young kids, and they almost act apologetic, and we just open our arms as wide as we can. And we always have to say, that's fine. No, you're very welcome to come in here and make noise and appreciate it. And we have stools that you can sit and look at it for a while and talk about it. I always tell people it's free and open to anyone, to everyone. You don't have to have an education. You don't have to have an art background to be able to pick up on all these things. They're here for you and for anybody. And they're maybe better appreciated by people who don't have this whole backlog of history, of art history, behind them. Maybe it's just better if you walk in with a fresh eye and see things and experience them for the first time. The first exhibit we had in here, the first true exhibit we had, was an installation artist named Crystal Wagner. And she built a free-form thing, essentially. This installation piece, if you know her work, is comprised of chicken wire stuffed with tablecloth plastic in different colors. And it was an all-encompassing, so you could walk under and through it. It was fun because people would walk in and go, I love it. I don't know what it is, but I love it. And you kind of went, that's the point. You don't have to be able to label art, you just have to be able to drink it in, so to speak, and appreciate it. A number of years ago, we recognized that art education was suffering, in the budget cuts that were resulting from the financial crisis. And so there's this ongoing challenge for many, art educators. We decided teachers just can't go. There's just not enough, opportunities. And we started something called Art Cart. And we got a grant, and we got a large van that we could transport materials and supplies, and we could go to fairs and festivals and schools and after-school activities and community centers free of charge, for all of these students, all of these young people, and maybe hopefully fulfill a need that they're not getting in school. We could go into a classroom with 3 or 4 volunteers with paper and supplies and ink and rollers and all of these things that they just don't have access to, and present it to class after class after class. We could spend a whole day in an elementary school and do printmaking with 200 students. And that would be a challenge for one art teacher on her own that she just couldn't mount. That would be far too much. We were at a school one time getting ready to present this, and a teacher said, that kid, you see that kid, when he gets off the bus, every day he's uninspired. He has no reason to be here. And he really doesn't want to be here. He doesn't respond in class, he doesn't speak, he doesn't do much of his homework, but on the day he has art class, he bounces off the bus and he's excited. And not only does he do well in art class, he does well in all of his classes. That's when it's most important to me. And I talk kind of passionately about it because I've seen it over and over again. And I've done this printmaking project, and we're almost getting tired of it because we've done it so much. And even volunteers have said, oh, we're doing printmaking again. And I said, yeah, just because we've done it, but these 6-year-olds haven't before. And so every time I see it through their eyes, I get reinvigorated by it.